When you stand in front of a mirror and suddenly find yourself in a state of emptiness, where not a single thought crosses your mind, a peculiar experience unfolds. You lose the ability to perceive your own reflection because perception itself demands thought. Typically, we look at our reflection and think, "This is me," followed by judgments like, "I am beautiful," or "I am ugly," or "Why do I look like this?" All these thoughts stem from a cognitive process. In our world, even the simple awareness of "I am" is intertwined with thinking, because for us, the concept of "I am" is not a pure, blissful state of being. Instead, it's an image we've grown attached to. When we refer to ourselves, we often mean the image we hold of our body, mind, and sensations. We don't speak of the pure state of "I am," yet we acknowledge that thoughts lack physicality. They seem insubstantial, and in that sense, they appear to lack power. But in reality, a single thought can be incredibly powerful. It can move you, shape your world, or even end your life. How then can we say thoughts are not powerful? The truth is that a thought is one of the most potent forces in our lives. Everything we know about ourselves, our self-awareness, is determined by our thoughts. Even though we often dismiss thoughts as something the body generates, thoughts can create entire realities for us. They can induce pain, pleasure, or any other experience, almost as if they have a physical presence. A thought can touch and move you, and in that sense, it becomes physical. Either we must accept that thinking gives rise to physicality, or we must redefine physicality itself as a form of thinking. Our life, including our body, is shaped by thought. When we think about the body, we're still thinking. Yet, we tend to categorize the body differently, filling it with ideas that are not directly experienced. You exist because you think, and your body only has meaning through thought. Without thoughts, how can the body exist? The only way to know or experience something is through thought. For a mind that has accepted the physicality of the body as absolute, it is challenging to comprehend that without thought, the body is nothing. This concept is difficult for those who believe the body is real and physical, while thoughts are fleeting. But it is possible to experience yourself without the body, to liberate yourself from the cycle of birth and death. True liberation, as taught by spiritual, mystical, and meditative traditions, comes from experiencing the "I am" without any thought. When thoughts cease, the body, which relies on thought to exist, simply vanishes. The body is just a thought, albeit a complex one, that feels as though it has its own world. The moment of awakening, of enlightenment, occurs when an individual, through inner silence and stillness, reaches a state of being without doing, wanting, or thinking. They have learned to experience silence and stillness independently. For a mind attached to the body, this concept is unimaginable. But when you reach this state, the body, once so real and physical, seems to disappear. You remain, but you have become pure awareness, pure seeing. In this state, you become the I, the self, where there is nothing but pure seeing in all directions. There is no object to be seen, no obstruction to your perception, just an overwhelming sensation of seeing in all directions. how can you return from this experience and still believe that your consciousness is generated by your body? You've experienced consciousness as vast as the sky, beyond the fleeting clouds of thought that we usually mistake for reality. Currently, we experience consciousness through the lens of our thoughts and emotions, which are like passing clouds in our mind. We try to understand it intellectually, from the outside, but we can never be certain about it, because consciousness is a deeply subjective experience. You cannot experience yourself externally. You can only see the reflections of your thoughts and emotions. Understanding consciousness requires moving beyond the idea that it is tied to the physical body, and realizing it is a vast, unbounded state of being.